Hi, my name is Colleen, and I'm doing the integrity video. Professionally, I've had managers that had an influence on me, positive influence on my work performance because they had a lot of integrity. And I think overall, if your staff at work, if the employees and the managers, if they're all people with high integrity, I think that increases the morale because you know what to expect and they have a higher standard, the way things should be done, and it makes people want to follow the rules and do things the right way, where it's the opposite effect if you have managers or coworkers that don't have a lot of integrity. Personally, I think my husband has a lot of integrity, not to use Steve's example, but he works in the automotive business, and a lot of customers trust him because he's very honest and has a lot of integrity. And then when something is wrong on their car, he's a service advisor, then they'll believe him when he tells them that they need to get it repaired. And he's put notices in at jobs because he felt like they were taking advantage of customers and they weren't being honest and they were doing repairs that didn't need to be done. So I do admire his integrity, and he doesn't care if he's the only one that believes something and nobody's on his side. He'll stand up for it and stand his ground. So I think that's important too. My first job as a CNA, oh gosh, I'm not even going to say what year it was. I had a situation after I was there about 9 months where a coworker was mistreating a patient. I reported her to the manager and the supervisor. Problem was, and I was afraid this would happen, is that she was very close with the nurses and the managements. And what happened was I sort of was ostracized, and they made it sound like I was making this up. And I kind of had expected that might happen, but I guess I was hoping that somebody there would have some integrity. And I ended up quitting without notice, which I've never done before or since then, because it was my first job in healthcare, and I had other jobs before that. So, I've never done that, but I didn't want to work for a place that didn't look out for the patients or residents. And another place I worked at about 5 years ago, the director of the place was doing things that I felt were putting the residents at risk and were dangerous. I ended up putting in my notice there after I was there 3 years. But after certain things came to light, I could no longer work there, but I ended up reporting her to state and to the parent company of the organization. And from what I know from people that still work there, nothing was ever done. So it is frustrating when you do the right thing and you stand up for the patients, and it seems like nothing is done and you've gone as far as you can go. And then it's almost like, it's you're the one that ends up having to pay for doing the right thing sometimes, but it still won't stop me from doing the right thing, especially when patient safety is involved or patients at risk, because you have to stick up for people, especially if they can't defend themselves and what's going on. You're just as guilty by not doing anything about it. Integrity impacts the patients because if you have people that don't have a lot of integrity, and I've worked with many of them, it puts the residents' safety at risk, and it could be a matter of life and death. So it could be dangerous to the patients, and you just can't have that. Let's see. I believe that I have a high integrity, and a lot of my actions at jobs and in my personal life reflect that. I've actually gone back to stores when I wasn't charged for items, and then people say, "Oh, well, why would they're a multi-million-dollar organization? It's like nobody knows, and they're not going to miss that money, but it's just the point of it. And then it just makes you feel better when you do the right thing, even if nobody else would do it, just knowing that I did it, because if I didn't do the right thing, then it probably would bother me. So, it's just, everybody, I think, needs to work on improving themselves, and I'm not always as assertive as I'd like to be, so I need to work on, owning up to things, and you're never too old for self-improvement. So, I think everybody needs to work on that. And as far as a peer accountability partner, that would be a useful tool, especially in situations like what we have going on here. Then these problems would be avoided if someone's holding you accountable. So I don't really have a problem with that, because I try to always do things the right way. So I think it's could be a good idea, and I would be okay with that. But it's just a bad situation overall when people don't have a high integrity, especially in this field. Okay, goodbye.